Hey everybody, Dankey here again. It's finally time to talk about this fucking picture. Um, like I said, there's a lot to sort of unpack here, but I mean, immediately right off the bat, let's just look at what we're seeing here. We're seeing a a white man who is extremely wealthy. Um, PewDiePie is, of course, the #1 YouTube channel. He has uh, millions and millions of subscribers. He is extremely rich, and he is streaming for the entertainment of his mass audience a quote-unquote joke where he has poor brown people hold up a sign that says "Death to all Jews." And I mean, to me, I'm just hearing crickets. I don't understand what the fuck is even remotely funny about this. He giggles like a little girl because he was like, "Oh, they would never do that," and they did it. Well, his edgy little joke got a lot of people licking his boots and apologizing for him and saying, "Oh, he wasn't really racist." Um, and then he went and made another video where he tells everybody to go check out this crypto fascist channel called E::R. Now he doesn't tell them that it's crypto fascist. He just tells them to go check it out. So I thought we should check it out. This is a mirror of E::R's video, Stephen Rapeyverse, or How I Learned to Stop Worrying and Love to Fuse.
Stephen, find the others and get to the control bridge. But I don't know where they are.
Ja, das deutsche Volk war ja damals eine Demokratie vor uns. Und es ist ausgeplündert und ausgepresst worden.
Alright, so this is footage of the cartoon Steven Universe, and he has edited into the animation a speech by Hitler.
Was heißt für diese internationalen Hyänen?
And in the Hitler speech, he says, "What does democracy or authoritarian state mean for those international hyenas?" International hyenas. I'm sure Hitler in this is referring to Jews, or perhaps like Bolsheviks. But Hitler largely viewed the Bolsheviks as an extension of the greater Jewish conspiracy. He says they don't care at all. They're only interested in one thing. Are you willing to be plundered? Yes or no? It's essentially a call for action against the Jews. And this guy has edited this disgusting crap into Steven Universe, a cartoon that is quite progressive in terms of it's a very good show for children because it gives them positive role models that are transgender, that are non-binary, that are gay, that are differently abled, that have different body types, and so for a myriad of reasons, it's considered by a lot of conservatives to be a very SJW cartoon. And so they find any instance they can to shit all over it. And I think this is one instance we see right here of somebody just completely dumping all over progressive, art and just turning it into Nazi propaganda. So that's an ultimate insult. But this crap was shared by PewDiePie, who let's just go to his channel. PewDiePie. 96,422,000 subscribers. 96,422,000 people were exposed to a cartoon that was edited to contain a speech with a call for violence towards Jews. Now, I don't know how you could possibly spin that to somehow say that PewDiePie isn't racist and that this is all just fake outrage generated by the left, when we've seen with our own eyes that this is very obviously crypto-fascist propaganda. Death to all Jews, and then linking to a video calling for violence against Jews. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that makes you at least a crypto fascist, because he hasn't come full mask off. But it was interesting, prior to the New Zealand mosque shooting, he had been subscribed to on Twitter. He followed on Twitter many far-right people who influenced similar mass shootings, such as Ben Shapiro. He also followed Stefan Molyneux, who is pretty much an out-and-out white supremacist. So we have essentially a crypto fascist as the #1 channel on YouTube, putting out dog whistle video and sending your kids to dog whistle videos where they will be exposed to these anti-Semitic conspiracy theories, and they will go down this alt-right rabbit hole. But let's hear Boogie's enlightened centrist opinion on this. Maybe he can help us set the record straight, because after all, that's the title of this video, setting the record straight.
Felix, because I think everybody knows what happened to PewDiePie. PewDiePie made some very tasteless jokes that I did not personally find all that funny. And because of that, the Wall Street Journal attacked him, saying, look at this guy, you know, he's anti-Semitic, his jokes are anti-Semitic, let's destroy his career.
Is it an attack, or did they just directly quote him? Because it's a pretty big deal when the #1 YouTube channel says an anti-Semitic joke, especially one viewed by kids, and they were just doing their job as journalists by reporting on that. It wasn't an attack. This is called journalism, and if you're going to be the #1 YouTuber, you are going to have to get used to being not only the biggest presence on YouTube, but a presence in the mainstream media as well.
Let's take him down. Let's make him a household enemy. And of course, it didn't stick. YouTubers, we know better.
Yeah, YouTubers knew better. They knew to not reveal their power level, I guess, and cover up and lick PewDiePie's boots and essentially apologize for him and make excuses. And this is disgusting. As we've seen, he makes anti-Semitic jokes, links to anti-Semitic videos for calls to violence against Jews. So you can't really spin this as this is fake outrage, because the evidence is right there.
Stuck up for Felix. We knew that we would. We knew that what he was doing was tasteless, but within the realms of reason, and certainly he wasn't the person that they were trying to identify him as with this identity politics, you know?
Identity politics is a very common buzzword that the alt-right and the conservatives in general like to toss around as a way to sort of demonize the left. But of course, identity politics from what I understand, politics derive based only on the most surface of features like a person's race or sex or gender. Um, kind of like I talked about in I forget which video, and I might have to do a deeper dive into this, but uh, a person's race and gender and sex have a lot to say about the surface base level interactions and day to day sort of dynamic they have with other people in their own community. And so to say that oh, it's just liberals playing identity politics. Well, identity has a very real function in our society. After all, whether consciously or unconsciously, when we meet somebody, we're judging them based on our perceptions of their race, their sex, their gender, their appearance, their personality, their face. So I mean, and their wealth level. So I mean, by that aspect, identity politics is something that both sides play. Um, I would say uh, that is a leftist analysis of identity politics, or at least a very basic one. But the right tends to focus more on like a tribalistic interpretation of identity politics, where uh, they seek to, instead of having discussions about white privilege, they see it as sort of an attack on the white race. Where instead, I think people who talk about white privilege are simply trying to point out the socioeconomic injustices of the structure. They're not blaming specifically white people for from benefiting from a system that they ultimately had no role in creating themselves, but just so happened to be a role created by the previous generations in society. But saying all that's identity politics and bullshit kind of ignores the role that white people have in this country to help their fellow proletarian people of color to um, level the playing field when it comes to living standards and try to right the wrongs of the past. And part of righting those wrongs is admitting that race and dynamics between race and sex and gender are still very real in this country and in this society, and they are worth talking about on a political level.
It didn't fit their narrative because it's not real, and we YouTubers are going to stick up for them when it comes
And it's very, very real.
to stuff like that. It gets a little more complicated when you talk about some of the other people here. Colin Moriarty, who is a great content producer.
I'll skip him because I'm not too sure. I'm not too familiar with this guy, but I will come back to his, because he does also apologize for JonTron. So we'll also have to take a look and see how he sort of apologizes for JonTron and makes excuses for him, because with this video, I really wanted to examine how crypto fascism is allowed to spread on YouTube, and how it is constantly rehabilitated by these sorts of YouTube personalities like H3H3 and Boogie. So, of course, I mentioned H3H3. Now it's time to actually watch them say it themselves.
It just proves to these cult of outrage people that you can achieve whatever your outrage sets its will on. You know what I mean? You could get PewDiePie's show canceled. All I need to do is write into these fucking horseshit papers and get a sensational title. And it breaks my heart that YouTube and Maker and Disney caved to this fake outrage.
So once again, Ethan is peddling this notion that, oh, this is all fake outrage, and there was nothing really racist to see here, folks. just a joke that says death to all Jews, and a guy who links to Nazi crypto fascist propaganda. Now, granted, at the time, he hadn't done the video where he linked to ER, but still, nevertheless, a joke where the death to all Jews thing was in and of itself condemnable, and it's very strange coming from Ethan, being a person of Jewish descent himself, to be to be explaining to him why he should why he should be outraged about a person making a joke calling for the death of his own people. That's, I mean, just wow. This is what centrism does to your brain, folks. And Ethan, he has intruded into the realm of politics, and he has a large audience too. And the takeaway I want to say from this is that, and these guys come under fire all the time, Boogie and Ethan, when they do open their mouth and say the stupid things that they do say. But then, my whole reaction to that is, what do you expect? They turn it around and say, oh, it's the outrage machine. It's the PC outrage machine that is attacking me. No, it's not the outrage machine that's attacking you. It's you keep saying stupid shit, and people are responding to the stupid shit you say. I mean, just seeing these people make excuses for PewDiePie is really pretty disgusting. I don't think I need to remind people, but the New Zealand mosque shooter, before his rampage in Christchurch, had written on his rifle, subscribe to PewDiePie. It's sort of become a rallying cry for white supremacists, because they've realized that PewDiePie is one of them. He's woke, quote unquote, and he is helping to red pill just a giant audience, millions and millions of children. So you want to take a look at the biggest fascist propaganda, the biggest crypto fascist propaganda attempt that has ever been taken in human history. I present you none other than the subscribe to PewDiePie meme. 96 million, with 96 million people either and most of them against their will participating in the viewing of crypto fascist propaganda. So on the next episode, we'll talk about part 2 of how fascists on YouTube are rehabilitated, with our special focus being on none other than JonTron. So stay tuned for that.